Hello everybody, Rick here again. So after doing research into the regenerations of the Doctor, one in particular always stands out as odd. The 4th to the 5th, particularly the addition of the Watcher. But what the hell is the Watcher? So the Watcher's been called a manifestation of a future Doctor, and it's manifested itself prior to the 4th Doctor's fatal fall at the indirect hands of the Master. Despite its ghostly appearance and vague motivations, it was often a benign being with only the intention to help, and with the Doctor soon recognising it as a sign of his oncoming change. Upon falling, the Doctor gestures to the Watcher and comforts his companions, telling them that the moment has been prepared for. Then the Watcher drifts into the form of the Doctor, merges with his dying body and triggers the regeneration into the 5th, and my second favourite Doctor. But this sort of regeneration process, where a Time Lord merges with another thing, is never seen again, at least not in the shows, nor addressed in any way.
He was the Doctor all the time.
Oh, okay then. Wait, what? How the hell does it work? The Doctor's met himself before and nothing like this has happened. Why is he all cobwebby and ghosty? What the hell is this? This needs an explanation, damn it. And even if it doesn't, it's getting one anyway. Surrounding media, such as the novels and the audio dramas, have occasionally offered attempted explanations of the Watcher, but they've also been rather loose. Occasionally, another Time Lord will witness a ghostly figure signifying the end of their current regeneration, but it's hardly a common thing. There's even an old legend about the Watcher of Nineveh. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly? A sort of grim reaper that takes Time Lords at the end of their 13th life. Perhaps this legend is what gave name to the Watcher phenomena, or maybe it was the other way around. But let's stick with the one that we see the most of, the 4th Doctor's Watcher. So what did the Doctor do that was different from his other regenerations? I mean, he didn't seem overly surprised once he learned of the Watcher's presence. One theory is that he travelled backwards in time in his 5th life and merged with his 4th so he could regenerate, but why would he do that? That doesn't even explain how he looks. I mean, he wouldn't need a disguise from his companions, they hadn't met him yet, and it's suggested that he tells the 4th Doctor who he is anyway. And why the papier-mâché face? This theory seems more unlikely the more I look into it. Plus, as far as I know, regeneration just can't work like that. Perhaps the Doctor created a second body for himself, in the sort of similar fashion as the 10th once did. Then, at the end of his life, he reabsorbed his spent energy and form. But again, why? That seems a complex way to go about regeneration. When would he have even had the time to do this? So perhaps the Watcher's merely the ghost of the Doctor, his spectral form, his spirit, whatever you want to call it, made manifest by some power to guide the Doctor to his death. Well, I guess this could be the case. After all, even if it's not a literal ghost, Gallifreyan science is so advanced that it's full of mysteries we aren't even supposed to understand. But that just won't do for me, so let's move on to my favourite theory. After the Doctor talks with the Watcher, he tells Adric that he's just dipped into the future, and he sets a course for Logopolis, an important planet where complex mathematics were used to literally alter reality, bending space-time events into seemingly making and unmaking the causal nexus. Block transfer computations, they call them. So it's an advanced form of mathematics that literally changes cause and effect to shape reality. Now that's important. So the importance of Logopolis cannot be understated. This reality warping technology is being used to stave off the collapse of the universe, as it has long ago passed the point of its life where it should begin to decay. Yeah, so that's a bombshell. All the excess entropy is being flushed into other universes. Anyway, the important bit is that the Master starts screwing with Logopolis and causes the computations to stop, starting the collapse of all of space-time. I think with these unique circumstances the Watcher phenomena was created. The Doctor's statement that he's dipped into the future does suggest that the Watcher is from a point in time ahead of the Doctor and he's travelled back to provide guidance. Now this is where it gets a bit meta here, but I imagine the Watcher as a sort of future echo of the 5th Doctor. With reality changing around them and the universe being undone, parallel timelines and alternate outcomes were being created. This Watcher is the Doctor from a future come back to assist his past self in preserving the universe and preventing the collapse of everything. Now what differs from previous theories is the fact that this spectral form of the Doctor is actually from a potential future, one that he himself is undoing by changing events. Now this could be the reason for his spectral appearance, As Regenerations are a lottery, the appearance of the Fifth Doctor was not yet confirmed, but especially because the timeline the Watcher was from was in a state of flux with the collapse of reality. This gives him a distorted look, featureless and ethereal. Remember when the ghosts were appearing around the world in that David Tennant episode? They were really Cybermen from another dimension. A footprint doesn't look like a boot, I think that was the quote, and it's a similar sort of thing going on here. The encroaching presence of the Fifth Doctor from a different potential timeline, where entropy has continued, attempts to cross back to help his past self. This very action would undo the Watcher's timeline, and as such his appearance, physical presence and location are in a state of flux. I also noticed that the matter began to decay in an almost cobwebby fashion as the universe unravelled, in a similar way to the skin of the Watcher, perhaps also hinting at his connection to a timeline where the end of everything was progressing. Although when individuals like the Monitor begin to unravel, they simply disappear, so who knows with that. But when the Fourth Doctor falls and restores the universe to normality, the Watcher's future ceases and the timelines merge, as does the Watcher into his fifth incarnation. Now this theory was based off of a discussion I read with my own spin, and I think it's a nice way of tying up one of the Regeneration's long-standing quirks. Do I really think that all this thought was put into an explanation? No, not really, but it's super fun to speculate and rationalise things. And I get to keep making videos, so what do you think the Watcher is? Do you even think it needs explaining? I gotta admit, I do enjoy the vagueness at times. It keeps us engaged and grasping for answers. Anywho, I've got to leave it there anyway, as I've got a lot to put together. But I've been Rick, and I just wanted to make a video on a cool topic again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.